Not far from the U.S.-Mexico border in Southern California lies the Salton Sea. At 200 feet below sea level, this inland sea has no outlet, and according to geological records, it has, for millennia, alternated between existing as a salt lake or a dry desert basin. The basin had been dry for hundreds of years until 1905, when water from the Alamo Canal, diverted from the Colorado River, overflowed its banks and, for 2 years, emptied into the area and recreated the sea. In the 1950s and 60s, the area became a resort destination, with many hotels and vacation homes springing up. However, by the 1970s the lake had begun shrinking, and in the 1980s, increased salinity and contamination from farm runoff killed much of the fish population. And with every foot of drop in lake depth, thousands of additional square feet of dry, toxic soil are exposed. So, here on the dusty plains of what was once part of the Salton Sea, reclamation efforts are ongoing. Endless rows of hay bales are deployed like an army of warriors to protect the land from blowing dust. And in the very middle of it, a well, drilled deep into the dry lake bed, taps into a confined aquifer of hot, salty, contaminated water. Enter Boreline FlexiRiser. You've been watching footage of a crew removing 330 feet of galvanized pipe from the well, because it only lasts several months in these conditions before corrosion takes over. Even stainless steel pipe galls and becomes a problem to install and retrieve. And PVC pipe breaks down under the intense heat of 120 degrees Fahrenheit at the source. Boreline FlexiRiser has no problem with the salinity or the other contaminants, and it's easy to install and retrieve in situations where frequent pump service will very likely be required. Because the land elevation is higher all around the lake, the aquifer here is under such pressure that it created an artesian well, flowing to the surface at about 75 gallons per minute. With the 4-inch Boreline FlexiRiser, they'll be pumping out about 200 gallons per minute. Once the crew had the pump in position, they had to start it running to decrease the natural pressure and allow the well seal to be placed. The water extracted here is treated and then used to reduce surface dust and to hydrate new types of vegetation that can grow in the salty soil. And, incidentally, Boreline FlexiRiser is being used in a similar situation in Death Valley, California. Because if you have a problem with salty or contaminated well water, Boreline FlexiRiser is the product for you. If you need a well solution that makes installation and retrieval less costly, time-consuming, and painful, it's Boreline FlexiRiser again. Boreline FlexiRiser is a flexible hose that comes in one continuous length, cut to order, and shipped to you with all the hardware and fittings you'll need for installation. No corrosion, easy install, 50-year warranty. Now that's a lasting solution.